places. And what's amazing is seeing where God is starting to work with these people already, because so many of them, their hearts are wide open to this. They want to know, they want to hear, they want to be a part of what God is doing. The advance has only gone so far because there's nobody there to really tell them. It's huge, it's amazing, and it's sad to see where the work is in many cases stalling just because of the restraints on the locals for time. They were hoping to open up those gates and get as many people as possible to be discipled so that they can help continue opening these gates for people, that they can meet King Jesus, that they can meet the King of Glory in their lives. We're already seeing where God is doing huge things in these neighborhoods, in these communities, to reach people with the gospel. I mean, it's astounding. But like I said, right now it's stalling. What we do with this, we can't do it alone. We can't do it without you. The number one thing is always prayer. We always need prayer, because at the end of the day, it's God who makes us succeed or not succeed. And so prayer is huge. And we ask all of you to be a part of praying for this. And the idea is that we're working to tell people about Jesus. And so we rely on people like you. And so if God puts that on your heart, you say, hey, I want to support what they're doing here. I want to be a part of this, beyond prayer. I want to be an answer to prayer.
You can do that by going to www.worldoutreach.org/350.
World Outreach, all the gifts are tax deductible and whatnot. It's possible to set up one-time gifts, but it's also possible to set up monthly recurring gifts as well. And those monthly recurring gifts, that is our biggest prayer request right now, because it's those small monthly donations that keep us there. Whatever God has given you to be gracious with, it's those small recurring gifts that keep us being able to stay there month after month, year after year, to reach these villages that don't know Jesus, that don't have anybody else sharing the gospel with them, discipling them.
You can support Matthew and his family by going to worldoutreach.org/350.
He gave up his right to all power, to glory, towards freedom like we've never known, and he gave it up for what? Become one of us?
I think he got the short end of the stick on that deal.
Yeah.
But that was his heart. That was his, that was a explicitly designed to show God's love. Right? My love is so great that this isn't your buddy who's throwing himself on a grenade just so you can, live a life and die. This was, I'm throwing myself on a grenade so you can enter paradise. Right? So you can have what you've always dreamed of, but you can never achieve on your own because this world will never allow it.
So even a step past that is I am dropping down on this grenade, even though you deserve to be blown up in the remnants of it.
Yeah, you certainly weren't guiltless and all that.
Which
is one of the things that I've always laughed about, and I've used this on atheists too. I said, on atheism, if you were Special Forces, Navy SEAL, whatever, it makes absolutely zero sense to throw yourself on a grenade for your teammates. 0 cents. That's not heroism. That's just basically cutting short, the 70, 80 years that, if you're lucky, you'll get.
Well, if we're going to make an argument for, the moral existence of God, I guess we probably should start out with what is morality anyway, which I guess the most simple explanation would be is, the ability to discern between good and evil.
Yeah, but morality comes with what philosophers call an oughtness. In other words, things you ought to do and things you ought not to do.
Yeah, because some things are a matter of preference and happen to be morally neutral just in their nature because of what they are, and other things have an actual moral necessity to it.
Right. And there also is what philosophers like to call there are efficient causes and final causes. Right? And I heard the way that William Lane Craig put it, which was, suppose your wife comes into the kitchen and she looks at you and says, "Why is there water boiling on the stove?"
Yeah.
Right? And you tell her, "Well, the fire from the bottom of the stove is contacting the metal on the bottom of the pot, and that all that energy is now being transferred to the water, which is exciting the molecules. The molecules eventually get so excited they, get thrown off on steam, and the water boils." Right? That's an efficient cause.
Yeah, that's how things work.
Right. Now, final cause is like to answer her saying, "I know you've not been feeling well. I know that you like tea, so I'm boiling you a pot of water make you some tea."
Which is purpose.
Right. And that's now you've involved teleological argument here. You're saying that that there was design purpose behind this. Without God, I don't think you can get to a purpose for any human being. You can make a purpose for your life,
Well,
but
isn't that
that
one
is
of the
not
biggest?
the same.
Isn't that one of the biggest conundrums that atheists and agnostics deal with?
Yeah.
Is what is the purpose of life?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think one of the things that is answered by Christianity, or a lot of religions, but I don't think as complete as Christianity, is the purpose of life is to give glory to God,
Right.
to live out a life that is honorable to Him, and He receive glory for what you do.
Right. Which is why we're all such in bad shape and needing Christ, because none of us
Exactly.
consistently do that. Even people who are highly religious don't do that.
Right.
In order to explain why some of these things exist, such as, morality and such, I feel like that a lot of these people on the atheist side have the same we got the same type of objection as they would whenever they want to throw in God of the gaps argument. You throw where they think you throw God in where you can't explain
Right.
it. But
Right.
on their end, it is the argument from necessity.
Right.
Because they say since there's a need for it to work this way, then supposedly that's how it's supposed to be. But that still gives no explanation to how or why.
Yep.
Why
And
the need is there?
Was that Diane?
Why the need is there?
Exactly.
yeah.
You don't even have to go to why the need is there. The need itself does not explain what it is or how it works.
And
I remember there was a video a few years ago called Expelled, and Ben
Yeah.
Stein was talking about the intelligent design, and he wasn't talking about theistic creation. He was talking about intelligent design and how that even the most staunch atheist has to argue or has to wrestle with the idea that our creation as a whole has a design that is unescapable. It
Right.
can't happen by accident.
Right.
And I remember that he was interviewing Richard Dawkins, of all people.
the alien theory. Yep.
At the end of all of this, and this highly intellectual, highly educated man was sitting there saying, "Well, we know that Earth was seeded by aliens."
Yep.
What you are you talking about? Little green people? And he said, "Yeah, aliens, people from other places."
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What made the aliens?
Exactly.
Well, that was the argument. And if you're going to argue, if you're going to argue that the Earth was seeded by aliens, why could you not just immediately flip that over to that alien is God?
right.
If you have
All it really does is called kicking. It kicks cans down the road. Is all it does.
down the road, that's it.
Exactly, because if what all you have is an infinite list or regression of origins, then how did we ever get to this point in time anyway?
Preach. Come
Well,
on, that's
it's-
it.
Yep. It's also the problem of, again, if all you have is a list of efficient causes, all right, there is no, teleological look or final cause to anything, including human existence. In fact,
yeah.
if you really want to sing the praises of evolution like Dawkins does, we're just fooling ourselves thinking that we're like the epitome of evolution.
Right.
That title belongs to bacteria and other simple cell things
That's
that were
been here
here
a lot longer than us.
lot longer
Common
than us,
cold.
and they'll be here a lot longer after us. So,
The cockroaches.
but I mean, even the
Hey, I'm not
cockroaches
talking about you. You
fails
should be
against
talking about
bacteria.
me.
Because evolution doesn't. It's not an upward thing.
No.
It just, we happen to see complexity because of whatever laws, and they can't even identify the laws that create this.
Right.
The attack
And it's
in
not linear either.
right. A lot of them are going to, I think it's called panspermia now, where they're saying that there's sort of an intelligence even in like the simplest and smallest cells and living organisms.
Yep.
Now, my question for anybody who espouses that would be, exactly how far are you going to retreat to deny God?
Mm-hmm.
How far are you gonna keep retreating back to deny the God hypothesis? Because that's looking like it's just one flew over the cuckoo's nest if you really
Right.
actually stop and think about it.
Math does not explain all of it either.
Yeah, if you cannot get to an uncaused first cause, you're just stuck in an infinite, not even loop, just in an infinite line that you clearly know you cannot explain or get to the end of no matter what you
Right. Right.
Well, for those of you that have read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 42.
42.
Hmm.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was busy eating this delicious meal from preparewithmojo50.com. You look hungry. Do you want some? Of course you do. Get your own. You can go to preparewithmojo50.com. That's preparewithmojo50.com. You can't have mine.
When will your adventure begin? Join the Federation and become part of a mission to traverse to the skies. You can help our humanitarian missions and you can help our disaster response units. In a world where political discourse has left a void in our world's ability to help hurricane and other natural disaster victims, it's the role of the Federation to stand tall and make a difference. Shop the Federation Promenade and make your donation at trekfederation.com today.
We remind all of our listeners that the views and opinions of the show hosts and guests appearing on Mojo 50 Radio are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Cuddle Me Buff LLC, its owners and partners, or this network. Thank you for listening to Mojo 50 Radio.
Yeah, as far as evolution trying to explain any of this, I don't see the capability of evolution to explain anything outside of our physical world.
I think that the two biggest challenges that I've heard are name an objective moral truth. And usually it's like, okay, torturing babies for fun and amusement.
Wow.
Or torturing other people for fun and amusement.
I've seen that movie.
There's lots of them out there.
That sounds like part of a Frank Turek presentation.
Yep. Again, you run across is anybody familiar with what they call the trolley problems?
Yes.
All right. You have a trolley heading down a track, and there's a baby laying on the track or a child playing on the track. and it's going to hit